Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to another 10 p.m. with BK. And obviously, I'm BK. This show title is not going to stay on for much longer in the process of changing. So, hi, I'm BK. If we are friends, obviously, you know that. If we are not friends, don't be a stranger. Hang on. Oops, what happened to. Oh, here. Don't be a stranger. Please feel free to follow me on Facebook, add me as a friend. I'll be happy to add you back as a friend. In this day and age, we cannot have a lack of friends, right? So hopefully we can add value to each other's lives in some way or another. So as mentioned, this was so it started with no title, and then it became this title, and some friends have given feedback and suggested that I have a stronger thematic focus, which I think is a good idea. So in the process of refining it, so stay tuned. Now I need to do one more thing. Those of you who are also have seen this program, I mean, you have joined me on one or more episodes, right? You know this. So those of you who are new for the first time, let me do this quickly. Day number 28. Today is day number 28 of a 100-day challenge. So 28 days ago, I started a 100-day challenge, a 100-day live stream challenge. It started quite on the spur of the moment, a little bit impromptu, and mostly for the purpose of a self-discipline challenge. And again, I'd like to mention Andy Frisella. He has a challenge called 75 Hard. Please feel free to go and check him out. He is a very interesting program, right? So please do go and check him out. So this is day number 28 of a 100-day challenge. It has been a very interesting process of evolution and growth and change. And I can honestly say that because of doing this, I have benefited tremendously. One, obviously, is reconnecting with old friends. Two, I also it's been humbling to have people actually comment and tell me things like, they privately reply to me and say, hey, the thing that you shared the other day has helped me in a certain way, and that has been a humbling experience. So thank you for sharing that, and I am truly, truly humbled that I'm able to share something that can benefit you. Now, so I did say that I would like to be able to, while it seems and sounds like a personal video diary kind of show, I also do hope to be able to put across certain content that hopefully can benefit you. And so that's the thing. So in fact, the third benefit is, well, I never know. I might end up having another source of income stream in a way, because I'm actually having friends who have come up to me and say, hey, I'm actually thinking of starting a live stream for my company, my business, and you look like you know what you're doing. you know the gears and the stuff that you need, and they're asking me for advice. Now, so far, I've not charged anybody. I'm happy to help them. It's a passion for me. It's a fun thing for me. So I'm happy to help. I'm happy to help you in this case, in this way. If you happen to need to transition yourself from less of these offline things and do a lot more online things, and I'm happy to help with gear choices, camera, microphone, broadcast. My setup is quite straightforward, but I do know how to set it up for, say, for example, some people like multi-camera. They have multi-camera requirements. That can also be done. So usually the first question that people ask me, when people ask me for that kind of help, my first question back to them is, you let me know your budget and let me know your use case. Because every use case, the requirements will be slightly different, right? So you see, there's a third benefit of doing this. Because of this live stream, I kind of have opened up the possibility of a different income stream. If I do intend to charge it in the future, which no, I mean for friends, no, don't worry, right? So before I charge you, just joking. Add me as a friend, so you can say that, hey, we are friends, right? So I'm not charging my friends. So actually, so far I've already helped 2 friends with this, and just been approached recently by another one So yeah, happy to help. So if you have any questions about this, feel free to ask. Right, I'm happy to help you along. Because I learned a few things along the way, so I would gladly pass on the information to you. In fact, you can look back at some of my other earlier episodes where I actually do go through or do go over the sources of information and so on. So interestingly enough, this whole current situation right now in the world, due to, some countries call it lockdown, some countries call it a circuit breaker, some call it a movement control, but whatever it is, it has also benefited me in some sense because being kind of restricted, I started to learn new things. For example, this, live streaming. I also started to really get into, some of you, if you've seen my Instagram today, sorry, can you see this? Should be able to focus. Yeah, coffee. Yeah, I started to learn how to brew coffee. This is a bit of specialty coffee. And I went to a place to buy coffee beans today because I just ran out of beans. And then, of course, I ordered some coffee and some food, right? And I had the best tasting cup of coffee today, right, from this bag of beans, which is why it's now at my place. I bought this. So I went up to the barista and asked him, hey, I've been trying to brew my own coffee at home, but I can't seem to get to the level of the tastiness of what you just gave me. So don't be shy to ask people, because he literally gave me a masterclass in like half an hour, right? He told me exactly what he did. And so hopefully I can replicate what he did. And of course, I also bought this very nice, lovely blue cup for coffee next time. Right, this is a nice blue, right? Don't you think so? Yeah. So this is for coffee. So don't be shy to ask, and don't be shy to ask people, because there's a lot of people and also for yourself, don't be shy to share your knowledge, because you would obviously have things that people do not know. You're definitely more skilled in some area, and feel proud to share it with people. So I'm thankful that I made a visit today and I learned some tips about how to refine my process. I think for me right now, although I've been having a certain process of hand brewing coffee, it's been a bit on and off. Some days I can taste it the way that the barista did today, but most days I cannot, right? So I got some tips from him. So this coffee is very interesting. It has hints of passion fruit, strawberries, and star fruit. I'm not sure whether you can see the words there. Right? This is a Finca Zacatin. Very nice. It was very tasty at the shop. So hopefully I can replicate that. Right? And it smells amazing. Anyone who loves the smell of fresh coffee? Who loves the smell of fresh coffee? I definitely do. And I grind it myself. So I grind it at home on my own. And so it's fresh. So now it's actually just beans. It's beans, it's not powder. So you grind it yourself. So it's always fresh. And then we do a process of hand brewing. Perhaps one of these episodes I might share a little bit of how to do a simple hand brew, right? So that was that. Now, today I wanted to kind of talk about the 3 hard questions to ask ourselves, because this is something that I've been going through in my learning today. And also interestingly, in the middle of the day, I was kind of chatting with a friend on social media. He posted this thing about there are certain gurus, wealth or make money gurus out there on the internet these days. And I think he's referring to Singapore right now, because he's from Singapore, and recently there has been a online spat between some of these people, right? So somebody called out a guru. Now I know there are gurus and then there are gurus, and then they are now in a legal tussle. There's one party suing the other party, so it's not so pleasant. So this friend of mine was posting and commented and said that stop. That's my Google Home that I'm not sure why he's. See, that's the thing about live streams. Sometimes if you have devices like Siri and all that, right? Hang on a minute. Stop Google. it happens like that, right? So he just started talking. I'm not sure what he heard me say. So anyway, I was talking to this friend, and then he was saying like, perhaps for these wealth gurus that's teaching people how to make money, they should charge people after they make money rather than before they make money. So I guess the criticism is that they are making money from people before they are making money, and they're teaching somebody that, right? Well, I'm not sure what you think, but it's a bit difficult. I mean, there are very good, credible people out there that, you see, the deliverables is a bit difficult to quantify. For example, I strongly believe in having coaches, right? So if you have a coach in your life, the coach is someone who can ask you hard questions and guide you to a different level of success. Now, but the difference is that the coach might be very good, or the coach might be very credible, but sometimes the deliverable is not as straightforward as if you buy something from store or something that's super quantifiable. Because in this case, of course, the coach might be very good, but part of the deliverable is actually how I respond to the coaching, correct? And of course, you can say that a good coach should be able to guide anyone along and get him up to a certain level. But sometimes it might not be because the coach is not good. It's because the person is not ready to hit the next level of performance, which is actually fine, right? So coaching can be a long drawn process, right? So, but I do understand, right? There are very good wealth gurus, there are very good coaches out there that's doing good work, but there are also people out there that is basically in it for a quick buck and to make money, because it's easy to kind of throw out a program and so on. But of course, if you are of the second type, you can't last very long, because all these things about reputation. If you're after one batch of student, another batch of student, a third batch of student, and you still cannot deliver results, I think the audience or the crowd, the public will know. No, they will know who are the credible ones and who are not. So end of the day, it's always about how good you are. So that's obviously how I feel. So this ongoing debate is not. So, but today, I was just listening to one of my favorite audibles, and it's about so in the light of this spirit, in light of this thing as well, this conversation, do you have anyone in your life that is able to ask you hard questions, right? Because the other day I actually had to ask one of my team members a hard question, and I asked him first. I said, "Do you want me to ask you the hard question?" Right? Because the hard questions will help you to really examine and think about, and you may not want to be asked that, because when you're asked those hard questions, sometimes you really am forced to look inside yourself and to introspect, and then hopefully can make changes, right? I think the hard questions are important. So I have 3 hard questions for you today, and it's from one of my favorite mentors, Jim Rohn. I'm going to ask you. It's just to share, but it's something good to kind of get us going as well. And of course, in this day and age, even more relevant, right? So if you have someone in your life, a loved one or close friend or a mentor who can ask you hard questions, congratulations, you are very fortunate and blessed. If you're not, consider getting a coach, because coaches can really bring us to the next level of performance, right? And of course, if you choose not to, then there's a third avenue, which is perhaps there are some self-development, personal development courses that you can also explore. So, hard question number 1. Are you ready? How much money have you saved or invested to date? Right. So this is this question is not so much as it is about self-evaluation, right? So let's say you are whatever age group you are now. I mean, I'm almost 50, and if I'm 50 and broke, and because I asked this question, I realize I have not saved money and I have not invested money, I am broke, then I kind of really need to start looking seriously at doing something and reassess myself, right? Because it means I have messed up. It means I messed up. Now, of course, there could be other circumstances like business failures and so on. So, which was my case. 3 years ago, suffered a very bad business failure, and of course that caused me to need to reevaluate and restart building, the funds again. So, but this is a hard question to ask ourselves, right? Especially today, because so many things are so uncertain. If you have not asked yourself this question before, then it might be good. It's a good time to take stock of things. Not saying it's the most important thing, but at least you need to be aware, right? Are you able to weather, let's say you happen to be, if your company is not doing well, or you lose your job or something like that, are you able to weather the storm for at least half a year to a year, that kind of thing. So how much money have you put aside, have you saved, and how much money have you invested to date, right? So this is a hard question. And if it's not a figure that you're happy about, then at least you now know that there's something you can do, right? So this is one of the hard questions that we can ask ourselves. And sometimes we don't even ask ourselves this, and we don't even know where we are in this respect. Sometimes we also have situations where couples, husband and wife, right, where one party is always doing the finances and the other party is totally unaware, which is again not an ideal situation. So perhaps if you are in that kind of scenario, you may also want to be aware, right? Whether you are the one doing the finances, let your other half know. Or if you are the other half and you're not knowing, maybe you want to find out, right? So that it doesn't come as a surprise for you, right? Because once you know, once you are aware, once you have taken stock, then you can take steps to address the issue, which is what's most important, right? Being aware and then taking steps to address the issue, right? So this is the first hard question. Of course, if you are in a very good position, then congratulations, right? I mean, I have many friends who are doing very well and highly successful in life. And of course, when they ask the first hard question, they'll say, it's an easy question, my friend. So second hard question. Especially today, in this time and age, where so many things are in flux, this might be a very good thing you ask yourself. How many books have you read in the past 1 year? Right? We should always be learning and growing and always learning new things, because especially now, I kind of was having a conversation with some friends as well, and I kind of think that some of us are thinking that we can go back to the way things were before this crisis. But I think there's a large part of myself now that I think that we probably won't. We probably won't be going back to the way things were before this crisis. So a lot of things are changing, and obviously like all this live streaming, transitioning from offline to online meetings, and the way we do business today, a lot of it has changed, right? So continuous growth and improvement and growing and learning is fast becoming very important, right? So perhaps this is another question you can ask yourself, right? How many books have you read in the past 1 year, right? There's a lot of value in experience. And I think one of the best things is that when someone, whether is it a good journey or a bad journey, and someone has taken the trouble to put it into words and sharing the experience, I think that can shortcut our learning process tremendously. So pick up a book. In fact, I'm sure you heard of this before, right? Many of the top CEOs, top performers in any industry, one of the common traits they have is that they are always readers. So same thing for you. If you aspire to higher performance, then get into this habit, right? Start reading. Okay, start reading. So that's the second hard question. So if in the past 1 year you have not read a single book, then it's time to take stock and say, okay, especially because in this flux of the world today, maybe you need to change and do something different. Okay. So the final third hard question, which is slightly related, not too different, is this. So in the last 90 days, how many courses have you attended in the past 90 days? Right. So again, in the spirit of continuous growth, continuous learning, especially seeing the urgency of being able to be relevant in today's age, I think that's even more important, right? So I myself, I'm going through another course right now, so I've done a few over the past 90 days. I'm also looking for good causes that can help grow my expertise or the way I do things or as a person, right? So look out for these things, right? Look out for these things because help yourself stay relevant. Especially if you are in a mid-career age like myself, right? I'm almost 50, so staying relevant, right? Even like learning how to do all these things. Of course, I didn't attend a class for this. For this part, because it's a passion and an interest and a hobby in a way, I self-taught myself. I learned, but it was with a lot of research. So in a way, it was also a course because I researched, right? I watched demonstration videos, review videos, instructional videos from very good people who do very, very comprehensive reviews on YouTube, for example. Sometimes I actually find that YouTube is like a university of sorts. You can practically learn everything that you want to learn. Says there will be an instructional video about it. It's quite fascinating. So so this is something that you may want to consider as well. Okay. So hopefully these 3 questions has helped you today, especially right now, if you're trying to stay relevant. I think it's good to ask ourselves this question. Asking hard questions is a way of taking stock. And if we can take stock and if we realize that our answers are not the answers that we should be having, then at least we now know that we can do something about it. Right? We now know that we can do something about it. So that was what I wanted to share today. And of course, another day I might talk about coffee again, and so on. So it was not meant to make anyone uncomfortable or anything like that, but these 3 questions has helped me to take stock of my own life, to take stock of my own current situation. So I hope that by sharing it with you, it can also help you. And again, if you do want to perhaps change your performance or upgrade your performance, then consider getting a coach, right? Getting a coach and in your own industry, and they can obviously help you in that, right? Like one of my friends the other day was a coach. He's actually a C-class executive coach. That means he coaches CEO levels of big companies and so on. And he also shared some very interesting lessons the other day. Okay, so hopefully this has been helpful to you. So once again, this title is going to change very soon. It's just that these few days I've been kind of busy with another course, ongoing course. I haven't had time to do this thing because for the other course, I'm also helping to do a translation work for people. So as I go through it myself, I'm also doing a translation work for them, which means I go through the course twice. So actually, who benefits the most? Me. I learn more in that way, right? So stay tuned. This is not going to be here for long. It's going to change very soon. So once again, thank you very much for hopping on and staying and watching this this live stream. Sometimes I'm not sure whether to call it a live stream or show or program or whatever. You let me know in the comments. Okay? You let me know in the comments. So good night, everyone. Today is Monday, right? Yeah. Day 28. And this is going to change soon. Bye.